Greetings. Welcome to Tonglen for Climate Change. So for our practice today, I wanted to do a practice around the changes and transitions happening with our home, with our sense of home. I'm living in Southern Oregon and it feels very palpable, the dryness here and just the shifts in this valley, in this region, and the impacts that has on our lives. And so I wanted to spend some time doing practice for our experiences in this shifting of home in our own home place, the shift of home on our earth, and also just around that awareness and reality of impermanence. My mother just went to a field museum, history museum recently and sent me photos of these 40 million year old dinosaurs that were the precursors of whales. And that the Himalaya mountains, the tallest mountains in the world, used to be on the bottom of the seafloor. And so such a sense of the vast time scale of Earth and life, and of our own experience in our lives and the impacts that humans have had on the Earth, and those questions of how do we live, how do we have a home, how do we take care of our home in a good way. So we begin by finding our meditation posture, taking a few breaths to arrive here, beginning with exhaling everything out, and then inhaling, breathing in fully this fresh air, exhaling, letting go of all the stress. Inhaling, breathing in the air of this present moment, this place where we are right now. Exhaling, releasing, letting go of all the stress and tension, holdings. One more time, breathing in this fresh vitality. Breathing out, relaxing. And as usual, when we begin our practice, we touch into refuge and bodhicitta. Bodhicitta, this aspiration to awaken for the benefit of all beings. So we practice today not just for ourselves, but for the benefit of every single being without exception. And refuge, turning towards the practices, teachings, guidance, inner awakeness. Turning towards those things that actually help us be more awake, free, clear, skillful, wise. And so let's begin by just feeling that sense of home in yourself. Maybe you have a place that you call home. Maybe you're in transition and don't have a physical home at the moment. But even if we don't have a physical home, feel a sense of home. What does home feel like? There's that saying, the home is where the heart is. Taking a moment to touch any struggles or difficulties that are happening with your sense of home. It could be challenges in the place where you live. It could be challenges in finding a home. Just feeling how that manifests in your experience. What kind of struggle, suffering, worries are you experiencing around it? Feel ready, we breathe in, we open up to willing to be with those struggles, breathing them in, allowing them to dissolve in the heart. And exhaling, breathing out, offering what's supportive. Maybe it's offering a relaxation, offering harmony, patience, whatever is supportive for this journey, this experience of home. I'm doing this several times, breathing in whatever the difficulty is, with the wish that you be free of that struggling aspect. It's not necessarily fixing whatever the perceived problem is, but it's working with the ways that we close down, struggle, fight against what's happening. So we're working with the ways our minds cloud, close, push away. We're working with those patterns in the mind to dissolve them so we can actually be present. So we can access the wisdom and compassion of our own hearts and minds. And so we breathe in the difficulty, willing to be present with it, willing to feel it, with the wish that we be free of that struggle. We allow it to dissolve in our hearts, allow it to dissolve in the basic goodness. And breathing out, offering to ourselves what's supportive. Could offer our own sense of well-being, our own sense of home. Imagine yourself receiving that. One more times. And now turning towards the greater home. Could be your greater home place. Maybe the valley or the mountain or the plains where you live. Take a moment to connect with all the beings that live in this place that you call home, or this place where you are right now. Imagine the different struggles they might be having with what's happening in their homes, maybe changing climates or the economic challenges, expensive rent prices, lack of housing. And as you feel ready, make the wish that each of these beings be free of the suffering, the struggle, the difficulty. And breathe it in. Imagine them being relieved of it, breathing it into your basic goodness, breathing it into the spaciousness of your heart and mind, where it dissolves. And then breathing out what's supportive. Maybe breathing out a home, affordable housing, breathing out water, safe place to be. And do this for a few breaths, working with these beings in your community. And next, turning our attention to our greater home, our Earth, this planet on which we live. Just bringing to mind some of the things you know are happening, the different difficulties and challenges, shifts in ecosystems, balance being off. Just bringing this to mind and breathing in whatever the difficulty and suffering is, be for humans, animals, plants, wishing them to be free of it. And breathing out, offering what's supportive, offering policies that support our planet, support each other, offering resources, awareness, compassion, care, presence. I'm doing this several times, working with the ecosystems of our whole planet, making a wish that the suffering of all beings on this planet, known and unknown, that it be freed, being willing to be present with it, to breathe it in, and imagine the suffering of the entire planet, that you can actually breathe it in and it can be relieved. Imagine it dissolving in your basic goodness, your own awakened nature, and breathing out your own well-being, your own wisdom, compassion, care. A couple of times. One more time, imagine breathing in, that you can actually breathe in all of the suffering on the earth. And it can be liberated. And breathing out all of your merit, your positive potential, your own good qualities, offering it to each and every being. And imagine them experiencing and resting in their own awake nature. And then letting the practice go, and just resting for a moment in this experience of being present, your body sitting on the earth, your attention resting in open awareness. You can also rest with the movement of your breath. Just experiencing this non-conceptual place that's behind the thoughts, around the thoughts. And then concluding with a dedication, dedicating the merit of our practice today to the benefit of every single being without exception, to their complete awakening, enlightenment, freedom from struggle and suffering, experiencing true well-being. Okay. Thank you for practicing with me. Feel free to be in touch in the comments if you'd like.